Hello everyone, Randy here, and today we're going to be replacing this shop light with this, if I can get the whole thing in the shot here, this curved 52-inch LED light bar. Now I think that's going to require probably a few modifications to the light bar here. Namely, we're probably going to take all the reflectors out. I don't think that would be good for the light up there for a shop light. Also, we got to get the old shop light down, and not to mention this is of course a 12-volt light, so we need to convert 120 to 12 volt DC, so 120 AC to 12 volt DC. We'll do the same thing for the other shop light we did. For those of you who watched the last video, last time we changed the other shop light, there's the other shop light up there. We put a 12 volt power supply up there. It seems to work really good. I think we're going to do the same thing here with this light. And of course, pretty much same length of light here, by the way. They're both 52 inch. This is 52 and that one up there is 52. The difference being is this is a curved 52 versus that one's a straight. So don't know if that's going to make a difference or not. We're going to find out. But first things first here, let's get the old light off. Okay, I've killed the power to the light here. Actually, all the shop lights on this side. All on one breaker, so we got that breaker flipped off. Let's start taking it down. And that, by the way, is about what 20 years of dust probably looks like. About how old the lights are. Quiet. You can, by the way, get LED versions of these, by the way. I think they're like 40 bucks or something I've seen, give or take, you know, depending on the quality and company you get them from. But seeing as how I have a LED light bar, obviously 12 volts, might as well use that. So, let's get the wiring disconnected here. Okay, there we go. Old light is off. There's what remains of the old light. And we'll probably just end up throwing that away. By the way, you know, if for some reason these LED light bars don't work, we'll just replace them with an LED equivalent of what we just took off. Anyway, let's get started here. We'll take apart the new LED light bar and remove the reflectors from it. Okay, this might be the fun part of the job here. We're going to have to, looks like, take all these little screws out. I don't know if the end caps have to come off or not. And then we can get to the inside here. It looks like 2 screws on, looks like a set of 4. Well, it'd be 8 total, I guess. Lenses. So, let's figure out what size we're going to need here. Probably not that set. Let's see what's here. Maybe that one right there. Double check here, they're just kind of small, so I want to make sure we don't strip them out. Nope, not that one. And we'll start taking them out. Okay, there we go. And one thing I noticed with the one we have up there now, the current LED light bar, the circuit board itself is not held in very well. Probably should have put some screws in it before we put it up there. A little late now. Well, I guess we could take it back down and fix that. But looks like this board is held in quite well. I see screws every so often, so that should be good. You can see the screws there. You know, probably won't hurt to have one there, but I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm assuming there's probably one under here as well somewhere. You know, the reason that one up there doesn't not have very many screws, it's because the reflectors here, you know, when they're in there, they help hold the circuit board on, and therefore it's not needed. But seeing as how it doesn't have them, it kind of needs them. Okay, there we go. We got all the reflectors out. I managed to get the one with the strip screw out here. Took a Torx bit there and jammed that down in the screw, and that I was able to get it out with that. So now we can just put this all back on here. And yeah, that should be fun. That's a lot of screws to put back in. Okay, there we go. That was kind of a pain to put that back together, getting everything to line up and the plastic in there to line up. But we got it. No screws missing. That's always a good thing. And it looks like everything is correct, best I can tell anyway. So now I think comes the fun part. Being a curved light bar like this, we're going to have to figure out some sort of mounting system. Okay, everyone, here's what we came up with for mounting the lights. Did very similar to the other light here, except for the fact this one's on a curve, so I had to cut these at an angle. So hopefully it's the right angle, we'll find out. But hopefully the mounting brackets will sit flush and flat on here, you know, as opposed to a straight one, just, you know, needed to be straight. But these are curved. So let's get these mounted up, and we'll see once if we can get the light mounted. Okay folks, there we go. That should do it for the mounting brackets. That should hold it nice and strong. Now we got to put the light up there. That should be fun. Okay folks, we're going to go ahead and try to get the light mounted up here. This should be a bit of fun here. Okay, there we go. That didn't actually go too bad. That's pretty solidly mounted. Hopefully, maybe not quite centered, but it's pretty close. I think at this point we just need to get it wired up. We'll be doing the same thing we did last time. We'll put a plug-in up on the 6x6 there, and we'll run it from the switch. It'll be running from the switch there. Turn the plug on, and then it'll turn on our 12-volt DC converter. Okay everyone, I think we're ready to get this wired up here, so first things first, we're going to get the staple out here if we can. And it shouldn't matter too much if we wreck the wire here, we'll be cutting most of it off anyway. That staple went flying. Okay, yeah, we'll probably have to get that one out, unfortunately, too. Okay, then we got a new box, which we will mount up right there somewhere. Pop out the bottom hole here first a minute. That's gonna probably be that one. Let's see, well, we're just gonna cut that off. Yeah, how about that for now? Okay, there we go. Try that again. That didn't work. And that, by the way, and I don't know if folks can see it from that distance, that's how I make the loops on my wires. I just take the cutter in there, kind of loop it around, stick it in the crimping end. Oop. And close the loop to about how much you think the screw needs to be. Usually works pretty good that way. Suppose just a little more yet. And black one on the gold side. White one on the silver side. Okay, and the cover. Okay, there we go. That does it for the electrical installation of that part. Now we just need to wire up the power supply. Okay, everyone, we're going to wire up the 12-volt power supply here. I don't know if there's any information on this as to what it is again here. Same one we used last time, and it calls it an LED driver. I don't know why it gives it that name. It's just a 12-volt power supply, but whatever. And what I did last time, I just cut a couple straps here, mounted them to the back. I think I used those holes right there, I'm assuming. And that's what we'll do here again. You know what, I should probably straighten those out just a little bit. They are kind of bent. So I'll take a hammer here. Let's see if we can straighten them out just a little bit here. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And this one's actually probably not quite as bad. Okay, much better. And I want it to hang on, let's see, on that side, because that's where the power is coming out of for the light here. So we'll probably want it hanging like that. So a strap there. And a strap there. I tried to cut them in the same spot, so hopefully it'll hang somewhat level. Some little metric bugger screws here. I must use the big holes. Okay, that's fine. We'll use the big holes. Thinking the small holes will be large enough, but apparently not. And yes, like I said, metric holes in here, so metric, little metric screws. Okay, and for powering it here, let's see, hopefully you folks can see that somewhat reasonably well. That should work. A little cover covering that, and I'm using the same thing I did last time. You know, with all your computer peripherals, you always get cords like this. It's like, what do you do with them? Well, this seems like the perfect use for it. So, lop off the end we don't need. Goodbye. Cut open the end we do want. See how well we can split this here, otherwise I'm going to have to grab a knife. Might have to grab a knife to get it a little, once it's, you know, open somewhat, you can pull it open, but okay, finally got it. That should be enough there. We don't need much. The connections are all right next to each other there. And there's even a little string there. I don't know what that's about exactly. Add strength to the cord or what, but okay, probably don't need to be that long. Probably don't even need to be that long, honestly. Something like that should be good. And these are actually relatively small wires on this. Maybe I should have grabbed a heavy duty one. Figured I'd grab a small one here. It's like, yeah, we don't need that much for this one, so. Okay. And we got line, which is going to be the black one. Neutral, which is white. And green, which is ground. There we go. So that does it for the 120 AC. Now we simply just need to plug it in here and connect up the light. So let me move over to the other side here and we'll get the light connected. Okay, wiring up the light should be pretty self-explanatory. Red goes to the positive, black to the negative. These are some fairly heavy wires on this light, I'll have to say. And at least on this power supply, again, I don't know if folks can see that, there's 3 positives and 3 negative outputs. So it don't really matter which ones you connect it to. Okay, there we go. I think we're ready to test it out here. So I'll get this mounted up here a moment and we'll give it a try and see what happens. Hopefully it works. Okay folks, there we go. Light is not on, neither of any of the other barn lights. Now I didn't get any before footage of this, so with the original light, but if you folks remember the first light we did over here, I did have some before and after, and quite the world of difference there between the LED light versus the old conventional lightsabers. Okay, so let's turn it on. Oh yeah, there we go. That is definitely nice and bright. Nice and bright. It looks like I would say the same brightness as the other one we installed over here, which if I turn both of them on, yes, that definitely looks quite nice. Let me rotate the camera there. So yeah, you can see both lights there on the workbench. Looks like a nice amount of light coverage. That's what we're looking for. That's kind of why I asked for the curved light bar to review. Figured that'd be a little bit better than, say, maybe a straight one up on this portion of the workbench here. I think this portion's maybe a little bit longer. But yes, looks quite nice. And for those who are wondering, this is the power supply again that we installed. Same as the one for the other light, just a 30 amp as far as I know, 360 watt. The light is supposed to be 300 watt, but based on my amp meter, it's only drawing 10, so that makes it 120 watt. One thing I do notice a little bit of a hum from this light, and I think it's actually the power supply, not the light. That's something I don't notice with the other light over here. And again, I think it's the power supply that's making the hum, not the light. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it's not loud enough you're going to notice it. And it's actually not any louder than, say, the old incandescent lights were. Obviously you get a little bit of hum with those as well. And for those who wonder why I maybe just didn't wire this into the other power supply, again, these are supposed to be 300 watt lights each. So I didn't quite dare do that. Plus they're still on separate switches, which is the initial way it was set up here. That light was on a switch, and this light was on a switch. So that still keeps it that way. And like I said, just didn't quite dare run both lights. Even though technically it should have been possible, folks, because again, based on my amp meter, we're only drawing 10 amps. And then 10 amps, so that makes 240 watts. So we still had plenty of juice left in that power supply. Just didn't want to chance it. And as well, I would have had to ran a wire, and being a 12-volt line from this one all the way around to the power supply over there. And it might have interfered with our silent operation of our power supply. The power supply is running silent at the moment. Maybe not quite so much with this one. Like I said, I hear a little hum on that one. But that one over there is at least running silent. If you start drawing more juice, it will kick up and you'll hear the fan kick in a little bit. So kind of want to keep it silent as well. No sense hearing that noise if we don't have to. So anyway, folks, I think that'll do it for this video. If you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.